So today we are looking at a piece of hardware that's it's kind of the ultimate diplomat in a tricky AV setup.
Huh, a diplomat. I like that. I usually call it a fixer.
A fixer, yeah. We're talking about the Kramer FC-69. On paper, it's an HDMI audio embedder and De-Embedder.
Right. But really it's for when you've just upgraded your display to 4K, but your entire audio system is, maybe a decade old.
Exactly. And the mission is basically, how do you get these two generations of tech to talk to each other without wrecking the signal?
Without wrecking the signal is the key part. Integration without degradation.
Okay, so the first thing that jumps out at me in the name is the 4.2.0. That feels very specific. It's not the full 4.4.4 chroma we see on high-end gear.
It is, and it's a very intentional choice. To get 4K at 60 frames per second with full 4.4.4 color, you need, 18 gigabits per second of bandwidth?
A lot, yeah.
A ton. This box tops out at 8.91 gigs, so by using 4.2.0 color compression, you can still get your 4K resolution, you still get your 60 frames.
But you can run it over the standard HDMI cables that are probably already in the walls.
Precisely. It's a very smart trade-off. It's all about compatibility.
Which brings us to what it actually does with the audio. The de-embedding part seems pretty straightforward.
It is. It just, it pulls the audio off the HDMI signal or the audio return channel and spits it out to a digital or an analog output.
Perfect for feeding an old amplifier or some other audio processor.
Yeah.
But the embedding side, now that's where I saw a use case that seems like a total lifesaver.
You're thinking about what happens when there's no video.
Exactly. The specs say it can embed analog audio even without an active video source. That seems huge.
It is huge, because normally if your video source dies, say the laptop crashes, the HDMI signal handshake is lost, and the projector just goes to its no-signal screen.
And your audio is gone.
Right. But the FC69 actually generates its own video signal, just a simple blue screen, to keep that HDMI link alive.
So you can literally turn an HDMI cable into a dedicated audio-only run. Your main source could fail, but background music, for example, would just keep playing.
That's a great way to put it. It separates the audio's reliability from the video source's stability.
But, okay, every time you put a box like this in the signal chain, you run the risk of, messing things up, right?
Yeah.
Jitter, signal loss.
Absolutely. And that's the other half of the magic here. They have this proprietary tech.
The reclocking tech, spelled with a K, of course.
Of course. But it's not just marketing. It's not a passive pass-through. The device literally takes the incoming signal, strips it down, and completely rebuilds it.
So it's cleaning up any timing errors, the jitter that the signal picked up along the way.
Yep. It sends out a perfectly clean, freshly timed signal. So if you're at the end of a really long or questionable cable run, this thing basically hits the reset button on signal quality.
It's a restorative repeater.
Cool. And that idea of control extends to the physical box itself. One of the biggest pains for technicians is managing EDID.
The handshake data. Yeah, I saw the 8-way DIP switches on the side of the unit. That just screams, we talk to people who actually install this stuff.
It's ladder logic, right? You're on the top of a ladder, something's not working, you don't want to have to pull out a laptop and find a USB cable to get into a software menu.
I just want to flip a switch. Force the right settings, strip HDCP if you need to. It's immediate.
It's physical, it's dependable, and the whole thing is in this rugged aluminum box and comes with a 7-year warranty.
That warranty says a lot. This isn't a consumer gadget, it's infrastructure. It's designed to be put in a rack and just work for, a decade.
That's the difference between a pro tool and the cheap adapters you find online. This is for 247 mission-critical jobs.
So to sum it up, it's a bridge. It bridges old audio to new video, it cleans up messy signals, and it gives you direct physical control. It really is the unsung hero of the AV rack.
It lets the big flashy screens and the big powerful speakers play nicely together, even when they're speaking slightly different dialects.
It does bring up a funny point, though. We're in this era of pushing for everything to be wireless, software-defined AVOIP. And yet, when reliability is absolutely 100% non-negotiable, we still fall back on these little aluminum boxes with physical switches.
It really suggests that no matter how advanced our software gets, we still trust physical iron, as they say, to handle the really critical connections.
Something for you to think about next time you see a flawless presentation and wonder what's going on behind the scenes. That's all for this deep dive. We'll see you in the next one.